This is a general reading for Leo for September 28th through October 6th. So if Leo is your sun or moon rising or Venus, this is a general reading for you, so take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm again offering a complimentary reading in September, and it will carry forward into October. So if you subscribe or put in a comment, I will select one person from that two group. I will select one person in the month of September if you put the comment or the subscription in September. If you do that in October, you will be considered for the October complimentary reading. And so, part of this video will be for part of September, part of it will be for October. So depending on when you see it and when you subscribe or put in your comment will be when you would be entered. I do appreciate your subscriptions. I read every comment and I will comment to that. I appreciate your kind thoughts, prayers for me, and prayers for my gypsy dog and for my fur babies. Unfortunately, on Monday of this week, I took Vix, my gypsy, to the vet and had her euthanized because her tumor was so big. There was nothing that they could do about it. She was in pain. The vet, she was panting, and the vet asked, was this normal? I said yes, and he said she was in pain. So she has crossed over. She's with Sammy now. I know, because Sammy had been waiting for her. And Sammy died 3 months ago from heart failure. And, I had the vet euthanize him because he was really having difficulty. And Sammy waited for Gypsy. And they're together now. And I always ask for signs. Sammy sent me feathers. And Gypsy sent me, I call them desert doves. So there was a bird in the courtyard for 2 days, and he's been out there. So it's like a sign for Gypsy to tell me that, she's still around, her spirit's around. It's just a veil. And I have listened to what Sterling Medium, what people ask about animals. And he said they're of the angelic realm to teach us love, their unconditional love. And that they have their own spirit guide when they come, and then we can reincarnate with them. And I do believe that I have had past lives. I know for sure with Sammy because I saw them. And with Gypsy Dog, I know that we've had past lives. So at some point, many lives ahead, I hope to be sharing a life with him. I know I will. So thank you for your kind words about Gypsy. I posted in the community comments if you want to see some pictures of Gypsy, of my life together with her, from when I adopted her to her traveling to Portugal in the crate, and her laying on the couch here. So some happy memories. So thank you for your prayers. And now, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. If you think you're a subscriber, look below the video and see where it says, if it says subscriber. Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes people. I don't know if it has to do with activity. I'm not sure. Maybe you hadn't come to the site very much. I have no idea. But resubscribe if it says you're not a subscriber. Why do you want to subscribe? I promise you it is absolutely free, and I will not send you any marketing. Being a subscriber is free. There is no cost. And in the universe, there's not a lot of things that are free anymore. Well, this is free. If you are a subscriber, you will be considered in the entry for the free complimentary reading. If you hit notification, you'll be notified when the videos come out. And I'm going to have some things on my channel for the subscribers. At this point, I do have the September special still for readings, $22 for a 30-minute reading, which is sent to you by video. For the month of October, I'm having the subscribers special. The normal price for the readings is $30 for 30 minutes and $50 for an hour. If you're a subscriber, you can have a live reading where you can answer questions. It's interactive. And the subscriber rate will be $5 off each one. So it's $25 for a live reading, or if you don't want a live reading, I can send you the video. And for the hour reading, instead of $50, it's going to be $45, which is a real bargain. So that will be starting in effect in October. So it'll be $5 off if you're a subscriber. And I'm going to have other things coming up, like once I get my studio set up in the US, I'll maybe do some Zooms or some active where we can, you know, pick a card kind of things. So thank you for subscribing. It helps to build the channel. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and that helps the logarithms. If you want the reading, send me an email and we'll start the process. Now, I have shuffled the cards. I have my crew here today. Nina's here on the table. If you hear little noises, that's Nina snoring. Jason's in the bedroom sleeping. He's doing much better for his health. Milo's in the sitting room, and out in the courtyard is Hope, who is missing Gypsy, because Gypsy would hang out with her because Gypsy was an alpha, and they always look at their pack. So the first card we have, Leo, for you is the Fool. Look at this, new beginnings. Oh, it's wonderful. Leo, you've got some new beginnings, and crossed over by the Hierophant. New beginnings. Could be conventional thinking. It could be a new beginning, which is like a new chapter, but it's like in the conventional way of thinking, which is because we're here in the material world, it's being part of the material world. Could be a job, it could be working with a government agency, for example. Then at the base of it is the Two of Swords. It could be at a crossroads and you really don't know what direction to go yet. And behind you is the Judgment card, which is manifestation. Crowning you is the Death card. Now, I just finished with the Cancer reading, and it was the Death card was just right ahead. So this is what's on your mind, because it goes right along with the Fool. Death card is not death. Death card is the end of a chapter and renewal and opening up a new opportunity. So that's what's on your mind, is that there's new things coming. Right ahead of you is the Sun. Look at that. So it's very, very good. You got the Fool, you got the Death card, you have the Sun. Leo, things are starting to fall into place. Then we have your happy home, the Four of Rods, with the Wish card and the Four of Cups and the Three of Rods. Definitely a new chapter. Definitely new beginnings. With the Three of Rods, you have an acceleration, the Eight of Rods or Wands, which actually Cancer had the Eight of Wands there too in the final outcome. Five of Cups with your Four of Cups. Wish card with the Four of Pentacles. You got two fours, you got the Four of Rods, Four of Pentacles. And with the Four of Rods, you have the Seven or the Six of Pentacles. With the Sun, you have Temperance, Death card, Queen of Pentacles. Now, I think this is really interesting because in the Cancer spread, the Death card and the Queen of Pentacles were together in the future. Now, I have shuffled this, and I have put many cards between the Queen of Pentacles and the Death card, but they come together, crowning. Now, isn't that interesting that the two of them came together in a different reading, in a different sign, and they were together, crowning, but there are all these cards separating to end up in the same place. So it's not. It is absolutely Spirit guiding this. It's not like how I shuffled the cards. Behind is the Ten of Cups with Judgment. That's very good. And then at the base we have the Hermit. Makes perfect sense. The Magician. That makes sense with the Fool. And the King of Pentacles. Okay. This is a very, very, very good reading. Very good for you, Leo. New beginning, new chapter. And Spirit is absolutely directing these cards. Okay, we have the Fool looking forward to the future. You know, he's On his road, he's got his little knapsack looking for the future now. Where is he going to go? Very, very optimistic. It's a new beginning. Crossed over by the Hierophant. Now the Hierophant can be conventional thinking. So it's really being part of the physical world. It can be government, it can be organization. It's very structured thinking. So I would say that you're looking at your chapter in the physical world. Is it new jobs? Is it new opportunities? And it's looking at those and deciding what direction you want to go. For example, you may be looking at, do you want to relocate? Do you want your own business? Do you want to apply for a different job? Maybe you want to apply for a government job. Maybe you're having some dealings with the government, because the Hierophant can represent government, or a large organization. So whatever it is, you're looking at that structured environment and the path ahead. For example, if you have your own business, thinking about having your own business, there's lots of interaction with government, licenses and permits and, regulations. Maybe you're thinking about applying for a government job, or applying for a government program, or applying to an institution of higher learning. Or, other large organizations include the medical field, hospitals, large corporations. But you're sort of at the crossroads, figuring out where you're going to go, what direction you're going to go. Then, here you are with the Magician. What do you want to manifest? You're at the beginning, you're at the full, which is the new chapter, and you want to manifest. This is knowing that you can manifest whatever you want and see that infinity is crowning you. There are no restrictions. You can go forward. Crossed over by the King of Pentacles. So this, I would say, represents prosperity. What do you want to do? What do you want to create to have the prosperity coming to you? Be it from job, from self-employment, from grants. It can even be if you're waiting for settlements, for example, or applying for settlements or something like that, the legal. And you're manifesting that from the heavens. But what you're doing is you're planning out your road, your map of what you want ahead. And this can represent prosperity. At the base of it is, is that you're undecided. Here's your twos. The two is like, that you're starting out, but the two is, where do you want to go? You're sort of blindfolded. You don't have all the information yet. And here is the Hierophant. This is where you're going to get your information. Because the Hierophant is that you're subjectively looking at a situation. You're not in the middle of it. You're on a mountain, being able to look at the whole picture for clarity and looking for the truth. So whatever you're wanting to create, whatever with your magician, you are gathering the information and also your intuition of saying, well, intuitively, what do I want? This is sitting quietly, listening to spirit and listening to inside of you, intuitive, what do you want to manifest next? And this is your undecided, and part of it is the blindfold, is that you are looking at physically, because that is the Hierophant, the physical world is what physically do you want to manifest, and intuitively, what does your spirit say that it wants, what path it wants to go? Because you're at a crossroads and you can create what you want. For some of you, you may think, well, this is what's expected, I'm doing the conventional thing, but it doesn't resonate. And this is a time where you can decide, what is it that what is your heart saying? What is your intuition saying as far as what next path, what you want to manifest? For some of you, like you've had a regular job paid by others, but what's really been in your heart is you wanted to have your own business. And so, you're looking at that. Or you may want to relocate, or, whatever it is, what chapter. For someone, okay, I just got a flash. For someone, you're thinking about being a stay-at-home parent. That's where you are at the crossroads of being a stay-at-home parent. So that's one of the choices that you're thinking about. I'd be very interested to see who that resonates with, because that just came into mind, that you're thinking about being a stay-at-home parent. And that's one of the things. And you have been in the workforce and thinking, you know, and it was like accepted by people around you to be in the workforce. But what's really resonating is that you want to be a stay-at-home parent and see your child grow, mature. So that's for someone. But you're on the mountaintop looking for the truth, and the lantern is looking for the truth. And part of it is the truth within you. Now behind you is everything came in together. The Judgment card is manifestation, and here's, you know, everything was good. So it's like a completion. It wasn't a difficult situation. And for some of you, you could still be there and modifying this next chapter. What do you want to add to this? To enhance it, not to take away, but to enhance it. Because you have your wishes coming through, everything's good, and there's your manifestation, your Judgment card. It could be home, for example. It could be work. And then you're looking at how do you want to enhance your life. You're at the new chapter. Because what's crowning you, now isn't this interesting, is the Death card and the Queen of Pentacles. So it's a new chapter related to prosperity, can be, or it can be a job. You know, the Queen of Pentacles can represent a job offer. It can represent an organization. It can represent you. And the new chapter. So maybe everything's fine and happy at home, your 10 of Pentacles, but you want to modify your work situation. You know, that's an example. Or you want to get your own business. Or, you know, there's all sorts of alternatives, because you're at the, you're at the very beginning of a book, and it's a blank page, and I see you, usually I see like a, you know, a blank piece of paper, but I see like a Sharpie or something, and you're starting to write in there. What do you want? And so you're writing the book, and it's a blank page, and you're writing what you want in your book. What is it that you're wanting? And that's what you're going to be doing, because you're looking at your new chapter. End of something, the beginning of something else. And it doesn't have to be your whole life. It's just a segment of your life. Now what we have ahead then is sunny and being temperate. Okay, so sunny, I look at this, and I also look, there's the communication between two people. You've got the sunflower, everything's very good. You're feeling very good, Leo, about what is going on in your life. And it says be temperate. Have patience, know that the flow will be there, and you will know the direction to take. Because the flow is there, you're going to listen. You went to your mountaintop, the hermit. You're listening to your higher guidance. It says have patience, and take your time in what you're going to do. Get in touch with what resonates within you as you form this new chapter. Now, there is no mistakes. So, you know, I have said this, the Spirit has showed me about the 7 of Cups, you know, and you don't know what's under one of the cups. And, well, there's no mistakes. If you choose one path, and then afterwards you go, well, that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, know that that's the way it was to be. There are no accidents, and there's all opportunities for learning. And then you go through that and think, well, I think I'll modify that, but it didn't turn, you know, I thought it was going to be one way, and it turned out to be another way. So you learn from that. That was a lesson learned, and then you take the other direction. And if you look at it that way, it takes a lot of the pressure off of thinking, oh, I have to be perfect, I can't make any mistakes. And there is no mistakes. It's all learning opportunities. I remember years ago, like grade school, and the teacher said, mistakes are made, that's why we have erasers on our pencils. And that's true. And now, you know, we have the delete button on our computers. Well, I spelled that wrong, delete, or correct it. So there are no mistakes. That's why we have erasers. Then we have here that your happy home and the 6 of Pentacles. Now it can be that money's coming, a new job, and you feel very good about it, celebration. Could be moving. moving to a new home, a new residence. Could be selling a home and money coming to you. But the Four of Rods is always, you know, the Four of Wands is always a great card because it's like happy celebration, and you know, you've got your castle in the background, and you know, it can be a wedding card. I don't think so with the Six of Pentacles, but it could be prosperity. It can be feeling good about what's going on. It could be job offers. It could be someone helping you financially. You just feel very good because things are very good around you. Then you have here your wish card, and you're standing very firm about what you're wishing. The Four of Pentacles represents that I have assessed, you know, you have the Four of Rods, now you have the Four of Pentacles. I'm assessing where I am financially, and I'm standing firm, and I have decided the direction I'm going to go. And that's your wish. The wish is you have decided the direction that you're going to go financially, and you're staying firm with that. You have assessed, you have gotten in touch with your higher guidance, and you now have the clarity of the direction you want to go. Because, did I just wake you up, Nina? Nina's looking at these cards. Okay, you're okay. So it's looking at, you have your Five of Cups and Four of Cups. Four of Cups is like new beginnings. It can be jobs, it can be prosperity, it could be projects. It doesn't have to be a relationship. However, this could be a relationship because you look at the Five of Cups. You know, you have the Four of Cups and you're looking at the Five of Cups. So as we move forward, we remember the Five of Cups. Here's new opportunities. However, the Five of Cups, we're reminded, yes, they say, okay, here, and we also had the Five of Cups in the Cancerian reading. But here we have the Five of Cups. Three of Cups of things that didn't work out, and two on the shelf. Now, part of this is assessment of what didn't work. It was all a learning experience. And as we move forward, we look at what happened, what were our previous experiences, and our part of that. What did we learn? What could we change in the future? And our discernment on these two cups. So if it didn't work out, what did we learn? How could we change our behavior? How could we change our actions? And our discernment. And discernment includes decisions. And it's all part of a learning experience. So it's taking from that past experience and carrying forward as we start something new. So that looks at our choices, and also sometimes we can have some residual feelings, which maybe sometimes we hold back a little bit if it was a painful experience, or we have a little bit, we're more guarded because of this. You know, we're thinking, oh, that relationship, I had this and this, and I'm going to be very careful. I'm not going to get hurt like that again. You know, I hear, you know, all these self-doubts that we run in our mind. However, just know that you were not the person that you were before, because you have these new experiences that you're learning, and you carry them forward, and you have more discernment. And you might have some insight in how, what was your role in this, and how you're going to change this for the future, because it's all about learning and what we can do to learn. Then we have here, it's very good. We have some choices. The Three of Wands. It's out there in the harbor. Where do we want to go? You know, the ships aren't coming in, but you know what's out there. And you're not moving to them. They're not moving to you. They're sort of out there. And you're looking at, okay, what are my choices? I can do this and this and this. And there's rapid changes. So things are starting to happen. Here's your choices. Could be choices like a job. Could be choices about a project. Could be choices about moving. It could be choices. You know, there's all sorts of choices, and things are starting to move. Like, for example, maybe you applied for a bunch of jobs and you waited for a week or two. Then all of a sudden, you get all of them calling you, hey, we want you for an interview. Boom, 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 things start moving. Or projects or self-employment, and it all falls into place. Or maybe you applied for a couple of different schools, for example, and you get those offers right away. Or you are thinking about starting your own business, or whether you take a job and suddenly everything falls into place. So things are rapidly changing, and you have to be flexible and know that, okay, and Okay, and here's the other thing. Do not be afraid of making a decision. I get that someone's like, oh, what if I make, it's so easy if I only get one job offer. If I get 3 job offers, what am I going to do? What if I make a mistake? Remember, I talked about there's no mistakes. And use your 5 of Cups. That you learn. You learn from in the past. And you also can use your intuition as you look into those. Let's say you go for the job interviews, and it's important for you to not only be there to interview them, but to sit and look around and intuitively look at what's going on, because that's going to help you to decide. Because if you go to 2 job interviews or 3, and you're sitting in the waiting room for one, and they're very nice and they say, oh, welcome, they're going to be right there. They show on time for the interview. The panel seems really good. They ask questions that aren't so, they get the information, but it's not to get you off guard. And you really like the vibe, and they show you around and people seem happy. And you think, well, this is really good. Then you go to the next interview, you haven't committed yet. You're thinking, well, I have to be fair. So you go to the next interview, and it's a half an hour later, they haven't showed up yet, and everybody looks real grumpy, and the receptionist doesn't even look you in the eye, and you go out for your interview, and they keep getting all these disruptive phone calls, and they're texting. You think, gee, this doesn't seem like a very good place. And what would it be like to work here? Because you have all these interruptions, maybe be the 5 of Rods, exactly. All that chaos around you. Well, I think, and you are interviewing them too. Then you go to the 3rd place, and you're on time. They're just a few minutes late. You go out in there, and they go, well, we're interested, but we'd like you to do a project for free to see how you fit into the organization. And you're thinking, well, why would I want to work for them for free? And you get this vibe that they really want to take advantage of people. You get the vibe. You go, well, scratch them off the list. Scratch number 2 off the list. Well, it's easy to decide because you had been looking at your discernment. You've been using your intuition. You've been listening to your ears, your eyes, and all these signs. So that's going to help you decide to make the right choice. Now, we can talk about job interviews, and the one that came to mind, my worst interview, is I wanted to relocate to Las Vegas, which I did. And I flew from Portland to Las Vegas and paid for a hotel and went to the interview for a government agency. It was at like 1 o'clock for the appointment. The chief interviewer fell asleep during the interview. Fell asleep. And I had spent all that money. Well, it worked out, actually. I got another job for the government in Las Vegas, and I was there long enough to get a pension, and it worked all out. But, she actually fell asleep during the interview. I'm thinking, well, maybe she had too big of a lunch. What I'm saying is that it all works out, even if you have a bad interview. Now, we're going to pull some cards and see where we go from this. And I actually got a great job. I went to work for the county hospital, and I don't know if you know, Sylvia Brown. I went to Sylvia Brown. I was on a Sylvia Brown cruise, and she said, you're going to go to work for a university. And I'm thinking, I'm not applying for any job for a university. I got a job at University Medical Hospital. Now that was pretty close. So she had predicted I was going to get a job at a university, which was at UMC. Angels and archangels and spirit guides, what do we have for our Leos for this week? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, and we have here the fates. Whatever's supposed to happen will happen. So don't be afraid. And this is also the serenity prayer. When you think of, that, the only thing you can change is yourself. You can't change anybody else. And it says, and the wisdom to know the difference. So, the fates, God grant me I'd have to look it up. Let's look it up. 17. And that is the Serenity Prayer. The Serenity Prayer sums up this card. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So look at what are the job options. What are the new path? What do you want to manifest? And that's where the Serenity Prayer comes in. Now this one is poised. This is ready for change. Ready for change to come. And your third card here is chopped wood. Change. Make things change. And chopped wood is like clearing the way, I believe, number 42. 42. Okay. Being grounded to everyday experience, humility. And it says, consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full bloom. So this is, you know, when you prune a tree, it can seem at the time that you're harming it, but out of that comes the blossom. So sometimes it can be that you're looking at a change and wondering why, and even that you look at it and you think, well, this can't bloom. But if you give it time, you see how it's sprouting and it will manifest to that which you want. So sometimes we're surprised at how well things turn out. You are in the flow. Whatever you want to manifest will manifest. You have gotten the death card. You've gotten the Fool card. It's your new chapter, the time for you to look at what you want. Now the other card is the law of positivism. And then I'll pull your meditation card. And what is it we have for Leo? If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free. If you like the video, hit the like button, please. Comments are appreciated. It helps the logarithms. And look at the two differences in the readings if you're interested in reading. We have the September special, which ends on September 30th. And we have the new subscriber special starting in October. Angels and Archangels, what is it that we have for our Leo right here? And it is, here it is. I contact with the strength and wisdom of my ancestors. Isn't that interesting? Yes. And I release energy that is blocking my inner vibration flow. That's also interesting. Okay, and then the meditation card for this week. Right here. Here we go. Breakthrough. For a star to be born, it must first collapse. This is not your destruction, this is your birth. So it's new beginnings. There it is. Okay. Thank you so much, Leo. And until next time, and I'll be sending out the October month videos this weekend. Nina and I are sending you light and love from Portugal.